Hello there, my name is Valerie White Williams and I'm a voice teacher and a vocal coach for Vocal Splendor Studios. Today I'm doing another reaction video and this time I'm reacting to Michael Jackson and his brothers, the Jacksons, on the London Destiny Tour performing Blame It on the Boogie 1979. Let's have a listen. Interesting. The thing about Michael is even though when he's standing still, he's always doing this like wiggle in his body, which is really good for people that are doing rhythmic music because you need to feel the rhythm in your body and that's going to make you groove better. Seriously. And this is totally live. It's not the best fidelity or the best audio, but wouldn't you want to be there in the crowd? I wish I was there. It was really fun. And there's all with his brothers. So let's keep going. Okay, I'm going to stop again. Now, here's the difference between live and recorded is that sometimes they weren't perfectly in tune. But this is 1979, and those days we didn't really have all the inner monitors, and because the monitors, okay, so inner monitor helps you hear your voice. And if you don't really hear your voice very well, it's really hard to sing in tune. Now, back in those days, they had, maybe monitors that were on the ground. They're like these little cones that sat on the ground. And if you're out of range, because they're standing there on the stage and they're moving around, you can't always hear. And so it's hard to make sure you're in tune if you can't hear the instruments or you can't hear each other. It's really tricky. And I think that's why a lot of people would start doing lip syncing because, there's different stages are different and different techs. Believe me, I've been on some stages where the techs didn't know what they were doing and it was like a disaster. And it's hard, but they're moving around a lot. And again, when you're moving around a lot and if you can't hear, it doesn't help you. So you do the best you can. I just can't control my feet. I just can't. chorus, meaning that we have this loop going on, sunshine, moonlight, you know, and then he's, oh, it's gonna be, and so it keeps looping around, and I'm already tired just watching them jump and drive around the stage. So yeah, and we've got some more. Let's see what else comes up. He's sad.
Put your hands together, put them up high, put them up high, don't come down. You know what? I just can't control my feet. I just can't control my feet. My feet, they just keep on going. I just can't control my feet. I just can't control my feet. They just keep on. I just can't control my feet. I just can't control my feet. My feet, they just keep on gliding. I don't blame it on the sunshine. I don't blame it on the moonlight. I don't blame it on the good time. I blame it on the what? I don't blame it on the sunshine. I don't blame it on the moonlight. I don't blame it on the good time. I blame it on the what? I don't blame it on the sunshine. I don't blame it on the moonlight. I don't blame it. I blame it on the what? I don't blame it on the moonlight. I don't blame it on the good time. I blame it on the what? I don't blame it on the sunshine. I don't blame it on the. I don't blame it on. I blame it on the what? I don't blame it on. I don't blame it on. I don't blame it. I don't blame it on it.
Bass solo.
I just can't control my feet. I just can't control my feet. And my feet, they just keep on moving. I just can't control my feet. I just can't control my feet. And my feet, they just keep on moving. I just can't control my feet. I just can't control my feet. And my feet, they just keep on moving. I just can't control my feet. I just can't control my feet. My feet, they just keep on playing. I don't blame on the sunshine. I don't blame
Who's waiting for that?
I don't blame. I don't. You just got it. Yeah. Oh, man on yourself. Ain't nobody's fault. Yeah,
Must be the last. Those pants. All right, that gave my face a workout. It was so fun. I wish the audio and video was better quality, but that's all we really have right now. And it was really fun to see the Jacksons together I remember that album. That song has always been my happy, I'm in a bad mood and I listen to it. It's kind of silly, but it's fun. And boogie was like the word in that 1979. There's a lot of songs that had the word boogie. Yeah, Boogie Fever. That was another group that said Boogie Fever. Getting down. And I think that was the heart of the disco time where, I think it was big disco in New York, and people were always going out in these, dark halls and dancing. And that's when that song was written, everybody wants to go out and dance, because that's how it was back then. There was all these clubs everywhere. Now, some of them weren't going to be maybe discotheques, but just clubs. People would go out all the time after work. Hey, let's go out and have some drinks and let's go and dance and listen to some bands. And that was the reality, because TV was hit and miss and there's not much to do. So why not? Just go out with your friends and dance a little bit or watch or see if the band is good. But that was it. And it was really just fun seeing the crowd and all the diverse people there. They still had the 70s styles, but fun, the big passion of just seeing them live. And like I said, that shout chorus that continued on and on and on. And at some point, when they're looping like that and, constantly jiving, they're going to have a count off. I couldn't see it on camera. They're like, okay, here we go. Because usually those things go, there isn't a set time period of doing those loops. And then somebody has to cut it off. They have to be tuned in together. And all of a sudden, okay, boom, now we're back to the song. But it was really interesting because Michael was so young. And I think this kind of was at the same time period. I think it was 1980 when he came out with his single Off the Wall. And so, yeah, it was a real transition time for them. And I know that I had heard some other posters say that he did do both. He did his solo career, but then he also still toured with his brothers, because they're his brothers and they grew up together. But it was just so fun to see the interaction. And especially from the crowd, there's that one girl, you could tell in the very first scene, she had these flowers and she's holding them up. And then it took to the end of the song that she grabbed them, or he grabbed them. And he goes, thank you. He's so polite. He's always so polite. And it was really fun, Yeah, we didn't get the best fidelity and video quality, but we saw the energy. We saw the energy that they were completely, constantly moving. Even when he was singing still, he was like this, just moving his hips and his body and his legs, and then big halls, because they didn't have like the technology. The audio was not like we have today. It's so much more polished, yet so many people lip sync all the time, but they didn't have to. I mean, yeah, there's some pitches that were not 100%, but again, that can happen when you don't hear yourself. And some places like big halls, it's just really hard to get. That's why those in-ear monitors are so popular now, because it doesn't matter if they're moving around or you move out of the range of the monitor, because that can be what happens, and it's just really, really tricky. But you know what? It's all about the energy on the stage and how they're just giving and giving and giving. And obviously it was like their last song. And sometimes, of course, fans will do their, quote, official last song, and then they'll have a curtain call and go, okay, we're going to come back out. Not always, but we always hope, come on, do one more. And then they might come out and go, okay. And sometimes artists would just do more and more curtain calls. And some of them say, no, I'm done. I'm tired. Because it's a lot of work performing. It is, even if you're not moving around, just the energy of letting all that energy out, because you're interacting with all these people, and it's an interesting thing to do. In fact, personally, I think most of us feel this way, the performers. It's much easier to perform for a huge crowd than a few people intimately right in front of your face, because you really can't see people that much when you're on those big stages. You can see maybe the first row, but you really don't, it's just a blur. And so, yeah, you don't really see them. You certainly don't see their eyes, versus in a small club or just an intimate place for just a few people. It's kind of like, don't have my space. I don't have my bubble. It feels weird. But Michael's, I miss him so much. I know I'm not the only one, because he had such a big heart. And even in that performance, right when he was, still growing into his solo act, you can see how much he gave, how much energy he put out, how passionate he was to reach his fans and deliver and give what he wanted to give to them. It made me feel like I could pretend I was there, but I wasn't. But that's why I wanted to do this. This has been on my list for a long time. And I thought today is the day. Someone posted I need to do more Michael Jackson reactions, and I've done quite a few of them, but this is another one, and it is a live one. So it's fun. All right, you guys. So if you love Michael Jackson and the Jacksons as much as I do, make sure you subscribe and click on the bell so you get notified of all of my Michael Jackson reactions. That sounds great. Michael Jackson reactions. It works really well. And also, let me know what other reactions that I have not done yet. I do prefer live, but I'm looking at doing some recordings on his last album because I think it's really great. So I'm planning on some of those. And also I want to let you know of my 2 free passion projects on Facebook. The first one is YouTube Success Strategies, and that's where I'm coaching people on how to be successful on YouTube. Because it's not only about making videos. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing great. But there's all these other things in the background that you'll also have to do to get discovered. And then the other group is called Creative Soul Alignment, and that's for people that are interested in spirituality and creativity. Because here's the deal. We are all creative, whether you know it or not, because every decision you make is creating your future. You might not have thought of that. So you can find all the information below on those groups in the description. All right, take care and I'll see you next time. Bye.